Just below the surface in Guatemala, the legacy of a 36-year-long civil war. At the peak of the violence, in the early 80s, thousands of indigenous civilians, including women, children, and the elderly, were killed by a military who labeled them as communists and subversives. In these mountains around Naba, entire communities of Ixil Mayans were targeted for extermination.
Y echipanuba o helicóptero el chul as mal 9 as kamaki echkshweto ta malo talakat wa kat ekhit kanti chuftan khichkas ekshku khoik pe kan ha tseba pues y atchen ktish bes khila qalje tankat kut olje bes qole iskat kut olje bes ko paga ha ok choy chakho bala khale.
Fearing the soldiers might return, Francisco Chavez and his sister Caterina buried the bodies quickly and at night. These bones will be cleaned, analyzed, and returned. The family now plans to have a proper funeral. But across Guatemala, many survivors still don't know what happened to their loved ones. According to official estimates, over 200,000 people were killed or disappeared over the course of the war. When peace accords were signed in 1996, no one was held accountable for war crimes, and the truth of the repression was buried.
Yeah.
On this episode of Fault Lines, Guatemala's disappeared in the fight against impunity. Exhumed bodies come here to the bone lab of the Forensic Anthropology Foundation of Guatemala. If you looked at this, what could you tell us about this case?
So you have a gunshot wound to the head, you have a gunshot wound to the back. You can't really pinpoint the area, but the destruction that happened here in the scapula is consistent with an impact of a projectile coming in at a very high velocity. The synthesis here, there's a...
Freddie Picciarelli started this lab in the mid-90s.
My family was able to leave here in 1980. We got on a plane and then we landed in New York and that was it. We were out of danger. Most of these families couldn't do that. And I just feel like it's my responsibility to do everything I can to help them. But there isn't a day that goes by when I don't think about leaving. You know, in 2001, we began to receive letters telling us that they were going to kill us. We were going to be put in one of these graves, that our bodies were going to be cut and disappeared, that our loved ones were going to suffer. We don't receive death threats anymore. Now, well, there's a defamation campaign saying that we are not professional, that we have, planted evidence, that that we are out for vengeance. There's a criminal complaint against me for committing 10 crimes, all absurd.
Who were the forces behind this?
Well, we believe that the forces behind the defamation campaign are organizations and individuals that feel threatened by the truth that the work brings out. The ones that have logically the most to gain by quieting the families, quieting the bones, and not having anyone know of what really happened, sort of continue the status quo. There has been people in power that are associated with those crimes since the time they occurred, till today. So it might just look like boxes, but it actually is a life. Each one of these boxes represents one life.
In the warehouse, thousands of bodies not yet identified. With DNA testing, Pecciarelli hopes to return these bodies to their families.
The crime of enforced disappearance is a perpetual crime that commits all of the terrors and all of the problems it creates every day. So it continues. Every single day is like a disappearance over and over. So this person, this family, has been suffering for 365 days for over 30 years.
A few days later, one of the boxes from the warehouse was sent home to the highland village of Las Pacayas in the state of Alta Verapaz. The remains inside had been identified as those of Cristobal Moran Mo, a Pocumchi Mayan farmer last seen in 1982. At the time when he disappeared, Caterina Cacque had just given birth to their son. Their home had been burned down. Can you tell us what happened the day Cristobal was taken?
Kimiko kecap magi kena ci halak undi wekun. Jauh wati gelar grah halak urut rem dah mas.
Partway through the interview, our translator explained it had become too difficult for Caterina to continue.
Ya, doña Catarina dice que ya no puede hablar más. Chahari manika buena migrante, nati Catarina, ti aguan, nati pamaná.
Correct.
Tiene dolor de cabeza ahorita, tiene dolor de corazón y no se siente bien.
Leandro was 20 days old when his father was taken.
Tío con acuam no chahan anam bokil ti angin como kre chinglo chuna mashna wechta wetna wel dos kre chinglo yanan papá chahan manara dos antiguam pero como en wachiknem dos ne chingkoi kiruam mas piloto wachujao durante tiempo como 33, 34 años, entonces kre chinglo chujao yanan dos yana shara chinglo kel bilwach entonces kalohan kana kamnak entonces yo tiguano pero jahan nara pues no pues remuyeres reutien oro takane ska akan iki kamnak.
While bodies are returned to their families for burial, the remains are also evidence of war crimes. Cristobal's body was found in a mass grave on a military base, along with nearly 600 others. We're heading to the city of Coban. In 2012, one of the largest mass graves in Latin America was discovered here on a military base that's now used for peacekeeper training. Formerly known as Military Zone 21, the base is now called Crayon Paz. It took investigators over 10 years to gain access, but in 2012, a judge finally granted a search warrant. The remains of men, women, and at least 90 children were recovered from the site.
Over 100 bodies, and then over 200 bodies, and then over 300 bodies. We had to work 7 days a week. We couldn't stop, so it was a non-stop process. We also sent a lot of investigators into the field to try to get more information about who this could be.
Mi nombre no es XX.
¿Tienes un familiar desaparecido entre 1960 y 1996?
¿Quieres encontrarlo?
Llama al 1598.
Con ADN los estamos identificando. Una muestra de saliva de los familiares es suficiente.
Para dar tu muestra, llama al 1598.
Fundación de Antropología Forense de Guatemala.
In June of 1982, soldiers arrived in Pambach, a Pocumchi Maya village in Alta Verapaz. People here say it was around 5 in the morning when they were forced from their homes. Women and children were locked in the chapel, made to lay face down on the floor. All the men were rounded up and led out of town. They never came back. More than 3 decades later, in one of the mass graves discovered at the Crayon Paz base, the remains of 64 men were uncovered. 34 have so far been confirmed as men from the village. Rosario Calmax lost her husband and 3 brothers.
A las 5 de la mañana, ya que estás con capaz de soldados. Olenta que já fizeste um capaz de soldados. Que olhar tin bahil já chalak. Escoel que antes que olhar tin papá. Vem tadi o chica check papá que antes soldado que was com lekker papel. Que was para gantar papel.
Se lo llevaron a su hermano, se llevaron a su esposo, le duele mucho. Entonces hoy fecha pues de que ella no aguanta llorar por todo lo que ella vivió y lo vio, ¿verdad?
Sí. Entonces después que cuando listo de capitán, el soldado, de capitán de soldado, entonces ahorita se fue a tu marido, me dijo mi mamá, de servicio. Para 3 meses de usar tu pista. Ajá, gracias, dice mi mamá. Y cuando llevo 3 meses, nada.
Jorge Cal was 8 years old when his father and the other men disappeared. For years before the exhumations, he hoped his father would return. ¿Qué necesitas ahora?
Pues ahorita, pues, primeramente Dios encontramos en los soldados cuál es ese matón de mi papá. Así me quiero ahorita yo. Justicia queremos nosotros. Sí.
On the day we visited, the village was gathered to hear from Famdegua, an organization that supports family members of the disappeared, including in the courts. 20 years after the conflict ended, war crime prosecutions in Guatemala are gaining momentum.
Ya no es tiempo de tener miedo. Es tiempo de hablar, porque para todo hemos tenido tiempo. Para llorar, para quedarnos sentados en la casa esperando que nos den una noticia. Sin embargo, esto no se da. Entonces, ahorita hablemos, contemos lo que pasó. A ellas no.
Ora Elena Farfan has spent decades supporting other families, while also looking for her own brother.
Plenamente me identifico con ellas. Se me imagina mi madre. Y para mí no hay sufrimiento más grande que el ver a una madre esperando al hijo amado. el caso de mi madre, acaba de morir, que siempre la luz en la calle se mantuviera encendida para que él cuando regresara encontrara la casa. Porque no cabe duda que el familiar de personas desaparecidas, lo último que perdemos es la esperanza. En el diario militar,
A photo of her brother hangs in her office, with dozens of others still missing.
que fueron 45,000 capturados y posteriormente desaparecidos, entre hombres, mujeres y niños, ancianos de diferentes edades.
Why do you think it's so vital that the people responsible for these war crimes be held accountable?
Sino lo que tratamos de hacer como Fandegua es sentar un precedente para que nunca más vuelva a repetirse la historia acá en Guatemala. Así es que, como dicen, juicio y castigo a quien ordenó la tortura y la desaparición forzada.
In January of 2016, 14 former high-ranking military officers were arrested by the public prosecutor's office in connection with the crimes at the Crayon Paz military base. 8 of them are now in jail, awaiting trial.
Lamentablemente, en esa lucha subversiva contra un régimen que supuestamente era comunista, ¿verdad? Se atacó a población civil, fueron masacrados, grandes poblaciones arrasadas, tierras destruidas, siembras, todas sus pertenencias, viviendas, ropa, todas las personas quedaron en unas condiciones infrahumanas. Cómo el ejército continuó por tantos años, yo lo desconozco, no entiendo por qué.
Hilda Pineda is the lead prosecutor on the Crayon Paz case.
Si en algún momento hubo un exceso, ¿verdad? Como ellos lo quieren llamar, ¿por qué no se detuvo el exceso, verdad? ¿Por qué duró tanto tiempo, verdad? Eso nos hace llegar a la conclusión de que hubo un ataque planificado y generalizado.
While some of the most powerful former members of the military are among those arrested, another official wanted for indictment is a high-ranking member of the current government, Edgar Ovalle.
Sí, en el caso del señor Ovalle, pues efectivamente es de conocimiento público, ¿verdad? Que él es la mano derecha del señor presidente Jimmy Morales y que él es fundador del partido político que lo llevó a la presidencia. Por eso sabemos y conocemos, ¿verdad? Esa vinculación que hay entre ellos. Por parte del Ejecutivo, pues nosotros no hemos tenido ningún tipo de obstáculos. Ellos se han mantenido al margen, ¿verdad?
Prosecutors believe that Ovalle, a former intelligence and operations officer, is linked to at least 6 enforced disappearances that occurred while he was stationed at the base. So we're hoping to speak with Edgar Ovalle. He would have been arrested earlier this year with other military officials, charged with war crimes at Crayon Paz, but he's a sitting member of Congress, so he has immunity. We've tried to set up an interview, couldn't do that, but we're hoping to catch him on the sidelines of Congress today. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. Hi, Jason Motlagh with Al Jazeera. Thank you. Just want to talk to you a little bit about the Crayon Paz case. Do you have a moment?
I don't know how to speak English.
Sí, caso de Crayon Paz, el Ministerio Público dice que eres responsable de 6 desaparecidos en la base militar.
Mira, ese caso yo no lo toco porque es un caso que está en proceso.
Pero mataron civiles a la base militar. No. One of the critics of the prosecutions who would talk to us is Ricardo Mendez Ruiz. He leads the Foundation Against Terrorism, a group that uses the media and lawsuits to denounce lawyers, anthropologists, and other proponents of the trials. He's also the son of a former military commander who was under investigation in the Crayon Paz case, but died days before the arrests. How should your father and fellow military officers be remembered?
Como los héroes que fueron. Nunca le pregunté yo si había matado a alguien, pero la respuesta era obvia. Pero no mató nunca a un niño o a una mujer indefensa en la base militar. ¿Qué fin estratégico podían tener? O sea, solo podía ser el producto del trabajo de una mente enferma, nada más, pero no el producto del trabajo de un soldado. Y mi padre era un soldado, no era un carnicero. Pues.
Have you actually seen the pictures of the remains that have been found at the military base, and how do you think they got there in the first place?
Sí, es una pregunta sumamente importante. Sí he visto las fotografías. En primer lugar, en esa ubicación existió antes de la base militar una población que se llamó Chicoyohuito. Esa población tenía un cementerio. Recordemos que en 1976 ocurrió un terremoto en Guatemala que golpeó a todo el país, pero especialmente regiones como ese lugar, por ejemplo.
So this is not a gravesite where people were buried lovingly. These are bodies heaped on top of each other, limbs bound, gunshots to the head. What's more, DNA evidence has definitively identified some of these people and linked them to disappearances that happened during the war.
Definitivamente, ningún trabajo realizado por la Fundación de Antropología Forense merece credibilidad. Es decir, lo que yo haría es únicamente especular.
34 years after he was taken, the remains of Cristobal Moran Mo were buried by his family in the local cemetery, in a grave next to others of the disappeared. Less clear is what it will take for the political fight to be put to rest.
When you look at it from afar, it looks like there's an actual competition for memory and truth. But in reality, all you need to do is go to the communities. And you could see the truth. You could see the truth in a person's eyes, in the suffering. You could see it in the graves. I could show you the gunshot wounds. I mean, how do you explain a person's body, a skeletonized body, in a hidden grave with a gunshot wound to the head, blindfolded, with their hands tied, inside of a military base? How do you explain that? Exactly what you have just concluded that it is, that's what it is.
Hay insultos, amenazas y todo, pero eso nos fortalece porque nos está indicando que vamos por el camino correcto. Así es.
Ay Dios, Señor Jesús, Panagina Dios, Panagina Alha, Dios, Kapaka, Dios, Señor Jesús, Señor Jesús, Padre Celestial, Dios, Señor Jesús.